Welcome to episode 66 of Two Guys, One Sport. My name is Chris.
Christopher, I have good news and bad news about my fitness.
Okay, hit me.
Okay. The good news is I bought one of those little watch gimmicks that records your steps. You know, it's a combination watch and Fitbit, and and I got 10,000 steps already today.
Nice.
The bad news is I got 10,000 steps by walking 3 blocks to get an entire pizza. So yeah.
I mean, my friend, it is after all about balance, as they say.
Yeah, and life, all things in moderation.
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna get off one train stop early, and I'm gonna swing by, and I'm gonna get a $9 Pizza Hut pizza because I can get it for $9, and I'm gonna eat an entire pizza while playing video games. So, but hey, I got my 10,000 steps for the day, so I'm good.
There you go. There you go.
How are you, my friend?
Well, let's see. This week has been a terrible week of sleep for me. I've gotten pretty shitty sleep all week, but other than that, it's been great. And we've got some. What were you gonna say?
I said because every time I look up, you're streaming video games.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but you know, it's what was it? It was Monday night. I think it was Monday night that kind of went a little late, but that's all right because you know sometimes you just feel the need to keep going. I think I actually went late last night too, but you know, we're doing good.
Speed.
We're doing good.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I saw that you beat the Warrior with Sal, and life is good.
Yes, indeed.
You know?
Can't complain about that. Cannot complain about that one bit. And moving on up in the world, tomorrow night, I'll have a little bit more, but we'll get to that later when we talk about plugs.
Nice.
We got more important things to talk about.
We have breaking Graps news.
Yeah.
We have breaking Graps news. You want to do match of the week and then talk about what came over our Twitter today?
Yes, I think we should do that.
Okay.
So you wanna go first or should I?
Sure, I'll go first.
All right.
Do you remember last week when I told you that 205 Live was going to have a championship match and I was going to watch it?
Yes.
I watched it. Did you watch it?
I did not.
Cedric Alexander versus Hideo Itami.
I heard great things about it.
It was right up my alley. So the match starts with, you know, Hitami's gimmick is that he is looking for respect. Now, this is a tried and true heel wrestling gimmick. You know, like the guy's on his knees and he's slapping him in the face. You will respect me, right? That's nothing new. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. We talk about this all the time, how simple wrestling is. Indeed. Cedric Alexander's gimmick is that he's the fighting champion. Don't matter. Heels, faces, tweeners, doesn't matter. He'll fight you. Match starts with a lockup. They do a little lockup stuff. Separate. Do a little lockup. Do the spot where they're in the ropes. You know? Hey, I'm in the ropes. And the guy taps him on, and Itami just taps him on the chest. Like he's Okada. And I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yep.
I'm super happy. They do a lockup spot again. This time, Alexander gets the advantage. Itami does the thing where he ducks in the ropes, you know, like, hey, I'm in the ropes, man. Ref, get him off me. Get him off me. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm loving this match. And then, boom, the forearm cheap shot. And for a little bit, now, the Kenta from Pro Wrestling Noah from like 2004 to 2008, is dead. He's dead and gone. That man is not coming back.
Yes.
Combination of age, injuries, and working a different style have turned that Kenta into Hideo Itami.
Yes.
And that Kenta's not coming back. But you know what? For a little bit on Tuesday night, that old Kenta made a comeback. Because, Chris, these spitting back fists and these shoot kicks and these drop kicks, and I was like, yep, all right. This is the Pro Wrestling Noah that I fell in love with. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
There was a great spot where, and these two are beating the shit out of each other. Hitami had the busted mouth, like you know, like blood from the mouth, which happens a lot, by the way, in the WWE. Have you noticed that lately?
Yeah, that's been a fairly common thing lately.
I don't understand why. I mean, it's just bad luck, maybe. I don't think they're putting the matches together with, hey guys, bust each other open in the lips.
Yeah.
But make sure your gums are bleeding. I don't think that they're telling them to do that, but it's wrestling, and we'll talk about how dangerous wrestling is when we talk about the the G1 show.
Mm-hmm.
And but I love Accidental Blood. I just think I love it in the UFC. I love it in boxing. I love it in wrestling. It's just, I love it. It just gives that sense of legitimacy to a company, sport that sorely needs it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this finish. You ready? So these two are beating the hell out of each other. That goes to the outside. Hitami hits a snap suplex on the outside, and Alexander's dead. So he drags Alexander's corpse and he props him up on the ring steps.
Yep.
So he's sitting there leaning up against the ring steps, and he's dead. And then Hitami does that running delayed drop kick into the rings, into Alexander, who's leaning on the ring steps outside. Great move.
Mm-hmm.
Then he drags him up, and he drags him in the ring, and he shoots the half, and we get 1, 2, 2.9 kick out. And I'm like, those sons of bitches got me. I thought that is the finish. Nice job, boys. Only thing about this match that I didn't love is that the Alexander won with the lumbar check out of nowhere. I don't mind Alexander winning. At this point, I don't think Hitami should be the champion of this promotion. I think there's still a lot more story to be told with Alexander, and we still need to get the Alexander Ali epic that is surely coming down the line.
Hopefully.
But I don't mind Alexander retaining. I just thought it just seemed a little sudden. The match itself. Like they were going. All of a sudden, he pops up, hits the lumbar check, and wins. And the lumbar check is not a out-of-nowhere move. It's not like he hit an RKO out of nowhere or like a knockout punch or something like a Rainmaker that you can do right away. It's an elaborate move, you know? It's an impressive move, and it's a painful-looking move, and it's an effective move, but it's an elaborate move that isn't really lend itself to a sudden quick win. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but the match was very good. It was not as good as the Murphy Ali match from last week. But the Murphy-Ali match from last week may be the best match this company's done all year. So I didn't expect this to hit that bar. But I would give this 3.5. Like, well worth checking out. You know, if next time you want to take a break from launching rifles at people, you want to waste 15, 20 minutes, I would highly recommend you watch this match.
For sure.
Really, I've been saying this for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. If you're not watching 205 Live, guys, you're missing out. And I am not, and you know, Chris, we've been doing this show for what? What episode is this? 70 weeks?
66. So, yeah, we're close to 70 weeks.
This has been 66 weeks of this show, and you know I am no WWE fanboy.
Not at all.
Comes to this. So, for me to praise this show, it is everything.
Like it is.
Exactly. It is everything a modern wrestling fan needs in a professional wrestling show. It is. The only thing I would do differently is that they try to pack a little too much in the hour they have.
Yeah.
But the characters are fun. TJ Perkins is the dickbag heel. Lucha House Party. Cedric Alexander is the champion at the top of the mountain. Akira Tozawa and Leo Rush doing their little thing. You know, like there's a lot going on. Each episode's kind of dense. But it is such a breath of fresh air when compared to Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
That it's just obviously your mileage may vary, but it's everything I'm looking for in a wrestling show, and it is the best show this company produces because I think NXT it comes and goes every week. You know, NXT kind of does that roller coaster lull. Like after a takeover, the first few weeks are kind of and then it builds like up to the next takeover, and then after a takeover, the first few weeks are kind of You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They got to rebuild the story. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's fine. And that's how it should be when you tape in huge blocks, you know. But 205 Live is very good. The crowds are getting better. There wasn't a lot of heat for this match until the end, but there was a shitload of heat for Ali and Murphy because Ali's the guy. He's the ace of your company. So the crowds are getting behind him. So
as they should be.
As they should be, because he's awesome. And much like myself, a man of Chicago.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, I mean, 205
It's all about the men of Chicago.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
As it turns out.
As it should be. 205 Live is great, and I'm going to keep singing its praises until more people watch. I don't care if I'm shouting on the mountaintop by myself.
This is not like the Taichi train where you're by yourself here. I'm with you on 205 Live being great, and I just happened to miss it this week. But
no, I mean it's totally understandable.
Yes.
This has been a busy week for the Graps. So I get
Indeed.
it. Next week even busier. We have a WWE show, and the G1 starts in like 48 hours. So
yes,
Chris, what you got for us?
All right, well, we are continuing Joshi July this week. I started off last week with the match featuring the second best women's wrestler on the planet, Arisa Nakajima. This week, we're talking about another one of my unsung heroes of Joshi. You may recall in the past, I've told you that Arisa Nakajima compares to Io Shirai. Much in the way that this week's star, Hikaru Shida, compares to Kairi Hojo, now Kairi Sane.
Also high praise.
Yes. One of the best natural baby faces that there ever has been in Joshi, but a great skill set to match and to give her a lot of legitimacy in the ring. She's about 6 inches taller than Kairi Sane is, and instead of being a pirate princess, her normal gimmick is based around a samurai character.
Okay.
So she comes to the ring wearing samurai, traditional kind of close to traditional samurai garb. And she adds a little bit of that kind of flair to her in-ring style. But this week we're going to be looking at one of her matches from one of her first trips to the Americas. And this actually comes from WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans in 2014. This is from Shimmer Volume 62, and Hikaru Shida is facing none other than the captain of Team Kick, Evie, better known to viewers today as Dakota Kai of NXT. A character I have problems with, but only as Dakota Kai.
Yes. Evie is awesome. Dakota Kai is but Evie's pretty great.
Yeah. Now, I know you normally have a bit of an abhorrence for babyface versus babyface matches. But this is a match that I really endorse heavily because both of them, despite being very good natural baby faces, definitely brought the energy and brought the fire to this match. Both being sold early on by Dave Prazak as being striking specialists, and they live up to it very early on. Lots of kicks, lots of forearms, really hard strikes. Evie takes control pretty early, though. They have a little bit of an even standoff at the start, and then Evie takes control. She hits that release back kick that she does to an opponent that's on all fours, and she just kind of takes over from there. But Hikaru comes back when they bring it to the outside. Evie tries to line up a running penalty kick with Hikaru down on the floor, and she just grabs Evie's leg out of nowhere and does that little thing where she, flip the leg back and send her face first onto the apron. And, we're off to the races from there. Hikaru comes back in, and we have some really nice strike exchanges that lead up to a moment where Hikaru's trying to get Evie lined up for a corner kick. Or no, she actually does hit the corner. She hits the knees. She hits the corner knees, Daniel Bryan style. And for a woman who is probably about 6 inches taller than Daniel Bryan, to be hitting those knees and to be getting the elevation that she gets is pretty damn amazing. She's got some great technique to her. And then she's trying to get Evie over for a Boston Crab. Evie's blocking. So Hikaru, in one of her most unique skill sets, says, "All right, fine. Let me just hit you with the Cesaro swing." And she just swings Evie around.
Okay.
And swings her and drops
I like it.
Yep. Evie gets back up. She starts hitting a couple of kicks. Tries to get her comeback going. Hikaru grabs her leg, picks her up on the shoulders, flips her over her head into a backbreaker.
Okay. Say that again slowly.
Right.
I want to visualize this.
Yeah. So
they're standing facing each other.
Yeah, they're standing facing each other. Evie's is lining up some roundhouse kicks that are going into Hikaru's side.
Okay.
She hits two, actually into the shoulder. Hikaru blocks the third one, traps the arm, lifts her up onto her shoulders. So
like in a muscle buster pose?
Yeah, no, not like a muscle buster pose, like an AA pose.
Okay.
But then flips Evie up over her head and down onto her knees for a backbreaker.
So it's like a GTS, but into a backbreaker.
Yes. It's like a GTS,
okay, but
a GTS, but into like an almost
only 5 times harder.
Yeah, almost into a Roddy Strong style
yeah.
pendulum backbreaker. Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. I want someone to use that as a finish.
Yeah, it's a pretty freaking sweet move. And that's not even the end of the match. Because then Hikaru goes for the cover, only gets a 2. So then she's like, all right, fine. Now I can lock in the Boston Crab. And she gets it in. She's got it in deep, but Evie makes the ropes. And then we have a really awesome reversal spot that I love. Hikaru gets her up for an overhead suplex, goes for a pin, misses the pin, goes for a kick. Evie ducks the kick, goes for a cradle. Hikaru kicks out, and then Evie gets the corner, blocks the knee attempt again, and then gets back in and starts hitting those Yakuza kicks that she hits. And you know the ones where she does the run around the ring and does the elevated kick right to the face.
I do. Sexy kicks.
Yeah, they are really awesome. But eventually, Evie goes up top, tries to go for a drop kick. Hikaru blocks. They're up on the turnbuckle. They're trading shots back and forth. Hikaru looks like she's about to go down into the Tree of Woe, but she pulls herself back up and knocks Evie out to the outside. And Hikaru's now standing on the second rope. Evie's standing out on the apron, and Hikaru pulls her overhead back into the ring in a superplex.
Okay.
Strong as hell. This girl has all the strength. They get another 2 counts. They get back up, and they're just throwing bombs at each other, forearms and kicks for days, until Evie comes off the ropes trying for another forearm, and Hikaru just hits her with a step-up enziguri out of nowhere, followed by a Falcon Arrow. Goes for the cover, 2 count, but then she hits her finisher, which is a really awesome-looking Shining Wizard variant off the ropes.
The simple things are always the best, man.
Yeah. Really sick-looking Shining Wizard variant off the ropes, and Hikaru gets the win. Great match. Great show of respect after the match. Handshake. Evie raises Hikaru's hand. They leave the ring together, and it's just a great showcase for 2 excellent foreign talents that are kind of getting their feet wet on American soil for the first time. But
love it.
This is 4 years ago, and Hikaru was already showing signs at this point of being one of the best in the current generation of Joshi, and she's only gotten better from there. She's been a star in every promotion that she's been in as like one of the top baby faces, if not the top baby face in the promotion. She's been with Oz Academy. She's been with Ice Ribbon. She's been with a lot of the second-tier Joshi promotions, and she is a name to watch. I believe that she is on WWE's radar right now, and I would not be surprised, honestly, to hear her announced as a surprise entrant for this year's Mae Young Classic. Although we do already have Io Shirai and probably Meiko Satomura coming for this year's Mae Young, so maybe next year. But either way, she is still.
How old is she?
She's pretty young. Let me just see.
I mean, late 20s.
She's 30. She just turned 30 actually last month.
Tons of time. Happy belated birthday.
Yes.
Tons of time.
Yeah.
Tons of time.
She's got
talent shines through, my friend. She'll be fine.
She has got quite a career in front of her, let me tell you. And like the wonderful thing about it is that even with the impressive nature of her moveset, she still is a through and through babyface. You can just tell by the way that she carries herself and the way that she presents herself that she is, as babyface as they can get. And it still works. It still works. But
why not? Because the easy stuff works, dude.
Indeed it does.
We talk about this a lot.
We do. And
we're going to have this conversation quite often, my friend.
We do. And next week we're going to go to more easy stuff because we're going to be going to some classic Joshi.
Ooh.
Am I getting a
little Manami Toyota?
I don't know yet, but you will recall
some little All Japan women from the 90s were just the best wrestling that has ever been, male or female.
Well, you will recall a while back you sent me a Blu-ray of classic Joshi matches.
Oh,
and I've been watching a little bit of that, and
fantastic.
I'm going to be picking one of the matches from that Blu-ray, and we'll be talking about that next week. So,
good stuff.
It's going to be good times.
I'm looking forward to it.
Guys in the chat, thank you guys for being here. Adam and Sal, good to see you both.
Two of our favorites.
Always good to see you guys. Thank you for being here tonight, and let's get into the current events.
Do you want to start with Ring of Honor? Late breaking news.
Yes, let us start with that.
Let's start with Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Chris, tell the class what's going on in November. Wow, in April in your neck of the woods.
Well, as was announced today, April 19th at the great and one and only Madison Square Garden, Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling will be presenting in a joint event G1 Supercard, Madison Square Garden, April 6th, 2019.
Yeah, WrestleMania Saturday.
Yep.
The Saturday of WrestleMania weekend.
What a surprise.
Especially they had the okay, let's set the scene. So Ring of Honor had been talking for a little bit about booking the Garden.
Mm-hmm.
The Garden said, sure, WWE doesn't use us as much anymore. They like to run at Barclays because they can set up for TV better. Garden's got that weird setup still.
Mm-hmm.
And it's much less expensive to run at Barclays as opposed to Garden. You can still hit the New York market.
Yes.
You know. So the Garden was like, sure, we don't mind. WWE's not running us. WWE was not happy with that, as the Garden has been their home since it was built, and it was their home, the Garden, before that. This is like the third arena at that location to be named Madison Square Garden, and WWE has run at all of them for 100 years. I mean, it's been their home building since the beginning.
Yep.
So WWE was not happy about that, and they invoked one of their contract clauses they have with the Garden, which says we get the right to refuse any other professional wrestling company to run here. And the Garden said, but guys, they want to pay us. And WWE said, nope, too bad. So Ring of Honor is owned by a company named Sinclair Broadcasting. Sinclair Broadcasting is a very large, very shady media conglomerate. They have newspapers and radio and internet and local TV stations. And Ring of Honor is just a line in their budget.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very small line in their budget, but when someone threatens to sue Ring of Honor, Papa Wolf comes calling, you know?
Yep.
Probably Sinclair doesn't give two shits about Ring of Honor, just beyond the fact that they make Sinclair money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is something I want to talk about a little bit later on with Brock Lesnar. So remind me, I want to talk about Brock Lesnar a little bit later.
Oh, we're going to talk about Brock Lesnar.
This was a pissing match between two groups of people with high-powered lawyers. And apparently Ring of Honor won because they're going to run the Garden. 18,000 people capacity, Chris.
Yep.
Now, you and I have talked about me flying out there, you driving out there for WrestleMania weekend.
Yes.
And not going to Mania itself for various reasons, cost and inability to see things.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to believe we are not the only ones to make this decision. But I got to believe if we go to WrestleMania weekend, we'll be going to this show.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people will be going to this show. Do you think now, obviously it's 9 months out. We don't know who's going to be on the card. You know, I imagine all the heavy hitters, Omega, Naito, Ibushi, Okada, Tanahashi, you know, and Cody Rhodes and anyone else, right? I imagine all the big shots will be on this card.
Absolutely.
But, so having said that, and a total shot in the dark, Chris, you know the New York wrestling market far better than I do, having lived there.
Yes.
If I set the capacity for the Garden, it's 17,000 people. What do you think the total attendance would be for this show?
19.
Standing room.
In a heartbeat. Okay. Let me tell you something here.
By all means.
I was at the first NXT Takeover Brooklyn back in 2015. Is
that the Sasha Bailey one?
That was the Sasha Bailey one, yes.
Okay.
That was the first time that WWE had run Barclays Center. And that was when NXT was just reaching the peak level of its Smarkdom audience. That place was so packed to the gills that you would not even have been able to bring like one more tourist group in there. The crowds that flock to independent wrestling, especially here in this city, are absolutely bananas huge. And when you factor in the fact that it's going to be WrestleMania weekend, and you are within spitting distance of two other enormous markets in the form of Boston and Philadelphia,
and all the travel people,
and as well as
everyone traveling,
all the travel people, coming into the biggest city in the world, it's a flat guarantee that this is going to sell out the Garden, especially when you consider the fact that All In is already sold out Chicago. WWE right now, the reason why they pursued that lawsuit is because they are shitting their pants right now from realizing, oh God, we actually might have competition here. We might have an event that might show up NXT TakeOver New Jersey, because it'll probably be at the Prudential Center.
What's the capacity of the Rock?
Oh,
is it about less than the Garden, more than the Garden?
Oh, it's definitely less than the Garden.
So imagine the PR of
Prudential Center is capacity 19,500. So that's actually slightly more.
Okay,
but
obviously we don't know how it's going to be laid out for wrestling. You know, we don't know, etc. And again, obviously this is very speculative. I can't emphasize that enough. Yeah. But imagine the PR of, hey, WWE, why is this independent show drawing more people on Saturday as opposed to your show?
Yeah.
Now,
especially considering also the fact that The Rock is not the most well-designed venue for non-sporting events. I was there in 2008, and I saw Metallica headline.
That sounds like fun.
It was a grand time. It was a great show. It was either 2008 or 2009. I don't remember which. But I was up in one of the I somehow don't know how this got set up, because it was a ticket I had acquired through a record label I was doing promotions work for at the time. But I somehow wound up in one of the luxury suites, and even in the luxury suites, the sound was less than stellar. The sightlines are great, but the sound is less than stellar, and it's known for that fact that at the Prudential Center is usually better for sporting events. That's why Devils games are always sold out. But for concerts and other types of shows, not necessarily as much.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the Garden was a bigger draw, simply because the event itself will likely be a higher quality presentation.
And also, don't forget, and I think this is vitally important, one of the reasons All In sold out as quickly as it did, and I'm not diminishing Cody and the Bucks in any way, shape, and form, is that it was, let's stick it to the man, right? Screw WWE. Let's show, and I'm for good or for ill, and right or for wrong, let's show WWE that we prefer this brand of wrestling over you guys. Screw you guys, blah, 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 right? And this is not transitioning into an argument about whether WWE is right or wrong or whatever. That's not the point. I'm saying the perception is, let's stick it to WWE, by a large, if not majority of that fan base. A lot of people have come out and said, yeah, I like the Bucks, I like Cody, but screw WWE, You will have that times 500 in New York City, as much as it pains me to say, is bigger than Chicago.
Yes.
That hurts, but I am a man of truth, And Ring of Honor is bigger than All In. The Garden is bigger than the Sears Center by a factor of infinity. Yep. You'll have all these fly-ins for WrestleMania weekend, and locals, not to mention, you said 20 million people within a 2-hour drive or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Between New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, whatever, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Now, my question to you, does this amplify WWE's desire to sign any or all of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks?
I would have to imagine so, and I believe the reports that were given earlier this year that the Kenny and the Bucks will be, as has been said, the subject of a bidding war between New Japan and WWE. That being said, you have to imagine at this point in time that New Japan has been ready for this and that they have been doing what they need to do to consolidate their resources and ensure that they will be able to match whatever WWE throws at these guys, as well as being able to say to them, we know you're here because you want to be top stars and you want to present yourselves in a particular way, and we're willing to continue to give you that venue to do so because we've given you, what, a year and a half, 2 years of a storyline that has been entirely your own to carry and to write. And we're willing to let you continue to do that with the various and sundry people that you have brought in, and to have you be an integral part of our program, which is something we can guarantee WWE will never allow you to do.
No, that will never happen. And also, one of the things, and I'm trying to pull it up right now, so I'm a little live action radio. Sorry, I couldn't spell his name. Let's see something.
Who are you looking for?
Let us compare for a second. Where are match statistics? Here we go. I'm on Cage Match.
Okay.
Seth Rollins matches. Okay. In the year 2018 of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. No, I'm just kidding. In the year 2018.
You mean our Lord and Savior Odin?
Yeah. Right now, my Lord and Savior Malawan. In the year of our Lord 2018, Seth Rollins has wrestled 95 matches.
Yep.
Okay? It is July 12th. He is on pace to wrestle 180-ish matches, if my math is correct.
Yep.
Right? Guess how many matches Kenny Omega has wrestled in 2018, excuse me. And I'm talking everywhere. Not just New Japan.
I would
everywhere.
Guess no more than 30.
22.
There it is.
Okay. Let's look up Kofi Kingston, right? He's in a tag team.
Yep.
Right? And let's look up Matt Jackson. He's in a tag team, right?
Yep.
Matt Jackson, Rancho Cucamonga. Kofi Kingston, in the year of our Lord, 2018, has wrestled 56 matches.
Okay.
Matt Jackson, in the year of our Lord, 2018, has wrestled 47 matches. This has been a busy year for Matt Jackson, and this has been a slow year for Kofi Kingston. Last year, Kofi wrestled 106. The year before that, 135. The year before that, 177.
Yep.
Okay.
And factor in age here also.
Yes.
Kofi
My point is Kofi is
36.
I believe that 36.
Yep.
Matt is a very old 33.
Yes.
A broken down 33.
Yes.
But my point is this. People talk all the time about, oh, man, they have to fly to Japan, and they live in California. And Kenny lives in Japan, first of all, so set that aside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for him, he has to fly here. He takes his big flight when he wrestles here in the States, which he does very sparingly. But if you're Matt Jackson, you, A, set your own schedule, which you can't do in the WWE, unless you're one of the tippy top guys, right? Yep. B, if Matt and Nick, and they've talked about this before, want to take a weekend off because it's their kid's birthday, they take a weekend off. It's much harder to do that in the WWE.
Yeah. Roman Reigns has talked how many times about how many things he's missed for his daughter and for his newborn twin sons?
Oh, and he is far from the only one.
Yeah.
So, and yes, the flight from LAX to Tokyo, I'm sure sucks.
Oh, absolutely does.
I'm sure it blows.
Yeah.
But if you, let's say this, right? You live in LA. Raw was in Boston last week, right? So you fly into Boston, you go to Raw, you rent a car, you drive around to wherever the house show is, let's say Providence, right?
Yep.
Then you get in the car and you drive around to the next house show, let's say Manchester, New Hampshire, right?
Yep.
And then you get in the car, you drive to the next house show, let's say Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm just making those cities up because they're all in the area. Hartford, Connecticut, right? Whatever. My point is
Portland, Maine,
or Portland, Maine, or whatever, Augusta, you know. Yeah. My point is that the travel in the WWE is so much worse, even if you live in the States, you know? So, like, they fly to Japan, they work Japan for a little bit, they fly back.
Yeah.
2 big flights. When they're in Japan, they're renting cars. Japan is a very condensed country compared to the States, you know.
They don't even have to rent cars because they have their sponsors.
The boss, exactly.
They have their host sponsors that are there. You know, you watch any episode of Being the Elite, you see them in every single episode. They are, and they're good to their sponsors too. They're good to their sponsors.
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah.
My overarching point is that yes, WWE can offer them more money. WWE can offer anybody more money.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they're everybody. And much like Ted DiBiase said, every man has his price. I guarantee you, Matt, Nick, and Omega have numbers in their head that say if WWE offers us this number, we are taking it.
Yeah.
Because we'd be stupid not to. And you know what? God bless. I'm never going to tell a man not to chase that dollar bill.
Absolutely.
Especially in this business. And we'll talk about it in a little bit when guys break their necks. You know, you never know when your number gets called, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's not pretend that all of a sudden life it's a cushy schedule when you're wrestling 50 weeks a year, 4 nights a week. I mean, Chris, let's go back to that match overview between Kofi Kingston and Matt Jackson, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the last, oh my God, Kofi. Since 2008, are you ready for these matches? The
Please,
number.
hit me with them.
Ready? 136. 179. Here's where it gets gross. You ready? 179, 190, 195, 202, 159, 155, 177. And then it kind of starts to tail off a little bit. You can tell when the New Day starts because then they did a lot more. The Kofi would just manage.
Yeah.
And, you know, they would alternate who wrestled on house shows and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So remember those numbers I told you?
Yeah.
202 is the high point. Matt Jackson. You ready? Since 2008, same time frame. 73, 78, 78, 55, 45, 84, 101, 110, which is the high in 2015. 78 and 80 last year.
Oh, my God.
Now, it is not a perfect comparison because some of those matches were bloodbaths and some of them were, you know, but a bump is a bump is a bump. I mean, you can break your neck like Hiromu Takahashi on a crazy ass spot.
You can take a boot full of nails to the face like Candice LeRae.
Yeah. Or you can break your neck like Paige did, standing there in a house show getting kicked in the back.
Yeah.
Like you never know when your number gets called. But I can't imagine that Matt Jackson, after all those miles, wants to wrestle 200 matches a year.
Yeah.
Wants to wrestle 150 a year.
Yeah.
So, and I can't imagine Kenny Omega, you know? Like, let me look up his high.
Yeah.
Let me look up his high.
And while you're looking that up, let me put it this way. You know, you talk about every man has his price.
Kenny Omega's high matches, 125 in 2016. And that is his only triple-digit match total. His next highest is 89. So, I mean, it's a much more grueling schedule. Yes, the matches themselves are not as difficult on the most part. But how many of those Kenny Omega matches were 4-on-4 tag matches at Korakuen Hall on Road to Power Struggle where he's in the ring for 3 minutes?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You've been to house shows. WWE house shows do not disappoint, especially when you're a main eventer. I mean, I talk about this all the time. I saw Roman Reigns and Sheamus beat the shit out of each other at a house show. At a house show. You know? If you're a main eventer, and if Kenny Omega comes over, he will be a main eventer. He's getting the 20-minute main event spot right before the intermission. You know? Like, every single night. Like, that's a lot different than, oh, look, it's Fukuoka, and I'm working a 5-on-5 tag team against LIJ for the 10th time. You know? And I'm going to come in. I'm going to hit a one-winged angel against Evil for the pin.
Yep.
Like I'm saying, yes, WWE can offer them more money, but to have that creativity that you mentioned, and to have that schedule flexibility that you mentioned, and Matt and Nick talking about how important it is that they have the flexibility to do shit with their families.
Yeah.
You know,
and let's go back to the point of families as well. You know. That number you talk about, every man having his price, Matt and Nick have 2 kids apiece. I guarantee you that number is only going to be the number that will allow them to put both of their kids through college and make sure that they are all four set up for life to be able to be successful and to lead fulfilling lives and to start careers and to be contributing members to society, wherever it is that they choose to do. That number is a number that you have to wonder, given the fact that WWE has reports from Rob Van Dam and from Booker T, both saying that they feel that the Bucks are disrespectful and ungrateful and egoish and are too full of themselves to be good for the company, and that they are best friends with the perpetual thorn in Vince's side, good old Papa Dave, who we hate, but, we got to deal with him. They are best friends with Dave, and Vince tries like hell to plug his leaks, and you can guarantee that they'll still be friends with Papa Dave after, if they get signed. The pros and cons that both sides have to weigh in order to see if they will reach that number is quite a long list. Not to mention the fact that if, and obviously nothing is confirmed about this, but if it is indeed true that Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi are romantically involved with one another, the thought of having to have a guy that you are signing, who you have to presume is going to be one of the top stars in the company, to be considered by many to be a standard bearer for the LGBT community, who WWE has historically been very bad with, and to have them not also immediately seek out and sign Kota Ibushi, there's another wrinkle in the works. And this whole scenario really just underlies the fact that had Vince McMahon not decided to rest on his laurels, and had Vince McMahon not decided to be complacent and let his product fall to shit over the course of the past 10 years, had he decided to actually put in effort, you have to wonder, would we even be talking about this right now? Would we even be at a state of needing to say WWE needs to consider signing these dudes because it's actively harming their business, because they're taking business away from WWE and bringing it to other companies? You have to wonder, what would it have looked like if Vince McMahon had decided after he bought up WCW, we're not resting on our laurels, we're not, gonna phone it in week and week out and week in and week out, we're not gonna have half of the most talented roster in the history of wrestling sit on the sidelines and be an afterthought. Had Vince McMahon decided to not do those things, you gotta wonder, would we be in this position right now? And it is quite a topic to speculate on.
It is funny to me that this company, now, financially they're set. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it with these television deals.
Yeah.
But can you imagine the money they left on the table?
Oh, God.
Raw had the lowest rating it's ever had on Monday. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Ever.
Ever.
They had a lower rating than they had against the Clinton-Trump debate 2 years ago. They had a lower rating they had against national championship football games and Final Fours and big-time football and big NBA finals and whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
They had a low July 4th, Labor Day, Memorial Day, Christmas Day, insert day here. This Monday's Raw was the lowest it has ever been. And they're still getting $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they cared to present a compelling product that got people to look and listen and watch. And, like, the door, you're right. The door is ever so slightly ajar. The door is ever so slightly ajar, my friend.
Mm-hmm. It's a very interesting bit of speculation But again, what you were saying, even more interesting, how much did they leave on the table? How much could they have had? How much could they potentially be? We've said before, millionaires who should be billionaires. We've said it how many times on the show?
Yeah,
they have put themselves in such a corner time and time again, and they're only escaping by the skin of their teeth. We've talked about how much they're going to have to scramble to make sure that advertisers actually want them for the television deal. Yeah, they seem to have an out in the form of Fox being after them, but it's freaking Fox. Vince obviously doesn't care, but there are people who have to be considering, how much do you want that stink on yourself? Because Fox, we talked about Sinclair being shady. Fox is infinitely worse. So if they had put in the effort, would we even be talking about Fox being an out? Would we instead be talking about a bidding war? Think about that for a second.
It's astonishing to me, my friend, that we are in this position.
Yeah. It's absolutely bananas.
That another company is getting WWE's arena. WWE's arena, their home arena. But here we are. So it goes,
Indeed. Yes, indeed, sir.
So, as always, my friend, we live in interesting times in this business.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So, yeah. So it is intriguing. I'm going to have to make my way to New York in April.
You absolutely do.
I do. And we're going to have to make our way to the show if I do.
Yeah.
I don't see why I wouldn't.
Without a doubt. Let me put it this way.
One thing, I've never been to the Garden. I think it'd be freaking awesome.
Oh, it's an amazing place. It is an amazing place.
And I mark out like a mofo for history to walk to walk the halls of Bruno and Pedro and all those guys. Like, man, I'm already just getting giddy thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like,
and what I was going to say is NXT is going to have to put together the most bananas lineup that they have ever had to even think that they could compare with this, to even consider being able to compare with this. NXT is going to have to put together something absolutely insane to even come close, because you're talking about the two biggest competitors to WWE right now in the US and in Japan. We're not even talking about, everybody in Europe here. The two biggest competitors between the US and Japan, the WWE, and both of them bring their top stars. The top stars.
Just the PR alone, man.
And let's not discount also the ability to bring in top stars from plenty of other companies. The ROH, New Japan, CMLL, Rev Pro partnership has been discussed many times on this show. But let's not also discount here that there is now an existing partnership between Women of Honor and Stardom and Rise to bring in some of the best women in the world that are not signed by WWE. NXT is going to have to pull the most insane rabbit out of a hat to be able to realistically compete with this.
Now, there's one thing I've learned is that you don't underestimate a takeover.
Oh, no, hell no. I say this knowing full well. Takeover New Jersey is going to be absolutely insanely good.
It's going to be unbelievable. The question is this, when we're talking about these deals.
Mm-hmm.
If they continue to draw low ratings, does Fox cancel them?
I don't know.
Does Fox punt them to Fox Sports 1?
I don't know.
Is that money guaranteed? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered there. A lot of questions.
So, we'll see. We always will.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fascinating story, my friend.
Yes, it is.
And I am eager. Now, we've talked about this before. Vince does his best job when he's backed into a corner.
Yes.
He is not, excuse me, he is not backed into a corner financially. The man's set for life. But he is nothing if not an arrogant man.
Yes.
Who is very used to getting his own way and is fueled by greed, and I mean that with all due respect. The man's made more money than I'll even dream of by being greedy, you know, and ego. And you know what? Now's a good time. Let's talk about Brock Lesnar for a minute.
Yeah.
Good segue. Because the best worker in this business has done it again. He has positioned himself as the prize between two dudes who hate to lose, who love to win, and love to see other people humiliated. And I mean Dana White and Brock Lesnar. Or Dana White and Vince McMahon, excuse me.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to argue with anybody about the value of Brock Lesnar in the WWE. There is certainly value in the UFC. The man popped $1 million buy rate 2 years ago on pay-per-view. But the thing, Chris, it doesn't matter if you think Brock Lesnar is valuable to WWE. It doesn't matter if I think Brock Lesnar is valuable to WWE. It doesn't matter if Don Sal or Adam or anyone else thinks Brock Lesnar is valuable to WWE. What matters is that Vince McMahon thinks he's valuable to WWE. So Vince, because he doesn't want to lose, and he loves to win, and he doesn't want to be made a fool of, is going to give this guy a pay raise, despite never showing up. Like, good work if you can get it, man. You know what I mean? Good work if you can get it, Chris. Like,
yeah.
Did you notice that they didn't mention him on Raw?
Yeah. They banned his name. There was a story about this. They actually banned usage of his name.
Amazing. 2 days after cutting an angle that made it on SportsCenter, and they're not talking about him because they're petty. Like, what are we doing here, guys? You know, like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. But, yeah, he's going to get a pay raise, and he's probably not going to deserve it. But not my money, and Vince doesn't want to lose, so he's going to give Brock all them dollar bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this is where we are, my friend.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Let me just say also.
Sure.
That suit was fucking hideous.
Oh God, with the muscle shirt and the gray and
those fucking boots.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
Whoever put Brock's suit out for him that morning needs to be fired.
Fired needs to be drawn and quartered.
Yeah.
Yep. Fired. Come on, man.
That's not even good enough. Yep, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that was as I like to say, no damn good.
No damn good at all.
Oh damn good. And you know what was hilarious about that angle? This shit was phonier than a $3 bill.
Yeah.
But you know what? It got people talking. It got butt.
It was probably Sable.
It got nice. It got people talking. It got notoriety. It got publicity. It was a very basic professional wrestling angle.
Yes.
Basic works, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah, Brock's gonna make himself a lot of money, whether it's from the UFC, the WWE, or both, and it will be both. So, good on you, man. You fucking carny. You fucking carny. I tip my cap to you, Brock Lesnar. The easiest job in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
The guy hasn't even been on the guy hasn't even been on Raw in weeks. You know, but hey, Vince don't want him there. You don't have to be there. God bless, man. Money for nothing, right?
Chicks for free.
The money for nothing and the chicks for free, right?
Dire Straits said it right.
That's it, right? So,
all right. So, with that in mind, let's talk Extreme Rules. Let's stick with WWE. We'll talk Extreme Rules for a bit.
Yeah. Half the matches don't have stipulations, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean that's been a trademark of Extreme Rules for a few years now.
Let's dust off our favorite gimmick. Scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you for each match? Let's run down the card.
Okay.
You got the matches?
I do. We'll start from the top. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, an Extreme Rules match for the Raw Women's Championship. I'd give this one about a 2.5.
With Ronda Rousey at ringside, I think, right?
More than likely.
This is gonna be what? Smoke and Mirror City, right?
Rousey was suspended for 30. She's still technically suspended, I believe.
Yeah, still working house shows, but suspended. But that's okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
3 smoke and mirrors. Abraham Lincoln once called it the soft bigotry of low expectations. You know, like we're all going to expect nothing, and this match is going to be slightly better than nothing. So the usual people on Twitter are going to rave about how good this match is. Don't listen to them.
No.
Unless this match actually is good, which okay.
If this match actually is good, we need to be checking the newspapers the next morning for mass infant slaughterings.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. No, I was in the building when they had a match, and it was fine.
Diamond Dogs, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
It was fine. Right? Fine? Is that a good word?
I wouldn't even give it fine.
It was fine because we expected it to be bad.
I would say it still was bad, but you know, the only thing that saved it from being bad was from being actually bad was the fact that they managed to trip their way into the proper ending. And the only reason why they tripped their way into that proper ending is because Alexa needed to get more cosmetic surgery done. Hooray, WWE, for having your priorities in order.
Yeah. And how about living in a world where Alexa Bliss is a 5-time women's champion?
Interesting fact from Adam. How about this being the first pay-per-view since the call-up of the 4 Horsewomen in 2015/2016 that none of them are on the card?
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, Vince has a new toy now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that was always the plan. You have to assume that was the plan all along. You know.
Yeah. I mean, Women's Revolution and Carmella and Alexa are their champions. So
the safe and tepid PR machine. That's really all that she is.
I mean, yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, we're being too hard on her. I don't think she is a bad wrestler. She's an excellent promo, and I like her facial expressions in the ring. It's just the problem with Alexa Bliss is that since she's a heel, she controls the match, and I can't buy her dominating someone for 80% of the match because she's like 4'8".
Especially not someone who is about at least a foot and a half taller than her and outweighs her probably by about 150 pounds.
And it's the same problem I have with Carmella because their matches are laid out a certain way with a heel, or it's face off, heat, shine, comeback, resolution, right? That's every match. Yep. You have the face off, the little thing in the beginning where they go 50-50, heel gets the heat, babyface gets the shine, and then you go to the finish one way or the other. The problem is that
who is even the heel in the face in this match, though? Because with the way that they were presenting Nia Jax going into the match, going into the Ronda Rousey match, they just muddled the alignments completely.
Yeah, which is something they do all the time with the women.
They basically
and men too.
They've almost completely done a 180 from what it was at WrestleMania. I mean, Alexa is still a heel, but Nia is no longer the slighted, taken advantage of best friend.
Yeah, Nia's the bully. Mm-hmm. She was the bully against Ronda, remember?
Yeah. I'm less than excited for this match.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. It should be. But just
The honest to goodness truth about this, the best thing I can say about this, when you get right down to it, is this. We've talked about the level of talent that exists on this roster, and
very high.
How incredible it is that some of the most talented performers in the entire world are relegated to the bench. Like, the thing that makes me just upset about this match happening again is I think about some of the matchups that could be happening, some of the matchups that by rights should be happening, and it just makes my blood boil. Because do you know how much I would pay to be able to go back in time and see a match between Rebecca Quinn and Heidi Lovelace. Now Becky Lynch and Ruby Riott. Do you know how much?
They haven't done anything with Becky Lynch nor Naomi in months and months and months.
Do you know how much I would pay for them to put Naomi versus Charlotte as a match on the card? Do you know how much I would pay for Sasha Bailey to actually get a marquee spotlight and to happen on a pay-per-view card? I mean, they're probably saving it for SummerSlam, but it's going to be a one-match blow-off, which is not what this story deserves.
Yeah, and there was no Dr. Shelby on Raw, which is both good and bad. Good that because those segments were death. Bad because they were getting TV time at least. You know? So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we've talked about this a couple weeks ago. Analyzing this company's booking decisions or trying to predict this company's booking decisions is a fool's errand. It
really is.
It's like you remember back in the day. I don't know. Remember is the wrong word, seeing as how we were both little kids when the Soviet Union ended. There was a science called Kremlinology, where like political scientists would like look at, oh, this guy got promoted to the Politburo, and this guy got sent to St. Petersburg, and this guy got sent to Stalingrad, or what, you know what I mean? Whatever, right? And they would try to figure out the Byzantine system of government and what it meant for Soviet relations with the rest of the world, especially the United States. But like nobody ever knew what was going on. Yeah. Because the system was so fucked up and run by old paranoid people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's very similar to like, I don't know who's going to win this match. I don't
care who's going to win this match.
I don't care. Just give me more Ronda killing people, man. That's all I want.
Either way, whoever wins this match, and it's probably going to end up being Alexa, has got to be losing to Ronda at SummerSlam. That's got to be how that goes. But
maybe. I don't know.
Maybe not.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We shall see, my friend.
Yeah. So, all right. Next, I want to make sure we get through this kind of quick because I do want to make sure we get coverage on the G1 special because I got some words on that.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right. AJ Styles versus Rusev, a singles match for the WWE Championship. There's no fucking way in hell that Rusev is winning this match.
Yeah, but I'm still like a 7.
I still don't care about Rusev.
I'm still like a 7.
5.
Yeah. That's about a 7. The match itself should be damn good if it's given time.
Yeah, but
is there any stipulation for that?
Nope, no stipulation.
Oh, great. Okay.
Next, the Deleters of Worlds, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the B Team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Like a -6.
Tag team match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. Yeah, this is like the only upside to this match, if there can even be an upside, will be Matt Hardy shenanigans. That's it.
Sure.
If that.
Great.
Yeah. Carmella versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship with James Ellsworth suspended above the ring in a shark cage.
They love their fucking shark cage. This is another problem. Carmella's going to get the key, and it's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, of course. Carmella's going to toss the key up to Ellsworth. Ellsworth's going to let himself out of the ring in some stupid comedic spot. He's going to fall out of the ring and have that be the way that Asuka loses the match.
Remember when Asuka was special?
Yeah. Remember how I said that, her losing was the worst possible thing I could do with her?
Her losing to Charlotte wasn't the issue. It was her losing to Charlotte, and then 48 hours later, Charlotte getting punked by Carmella was the issue.
Yeah, but notice how since then, because they don't have to adhere to the streak anymore, they don't have to keep Asuka as something special, they've relegated her to being the freaking village idiot. Getting punked out by Carmella and James Ellsworth. Are you kidding me? For the woman who last week I was talking about as being the baddest woman on the planet. Now getting punked out by Carmella and James fucking Ellsworth. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, about that.
I'm about to garrote myself with my new bass strings that are sitting here on my
bass strings are expensive. Don't do that.
I mean, they were a gift, so I mean they're not really all that expensive.
Okay.
But
still, by all means. By all means. Wait, don't garrote yourself.
All right. Next up, Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
I'm actually excited for this.
I'm going to give this one like an 8.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for
Bludgeon
this.
Brothers, very old school build. Show
Yep.
up and beat the shit out of people, which
Yep.
makes me happy as an old school guy.
Yep.
You know? So, and Kane is a disaster, but Daniel Bryan's great. So, cool.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about Kane is that he's going to be working against two guys who are able to work at
Who are
his
both
pace.
big and safe.
Yeah, who are also both big and safe, and can work at his pace. So it should be fine. I don't think the Team Hell No wins, but
no, I don't think Kane's winning a championship at this stage of his career.
Actually, you know what? There might be something in it for the nostalgia pop, but I imagine that if they're going to do that, they'll do it in front of the Brooklyn crowd. So they'll probably save a Team Hell No championship win for SummerSlam.
So we're not getting Bryan Miz at SummerSlam?
I don't know.
Wait, we're doing it again, Chris. We're doing it. We talk about not being able to do it, man. We're trying to predict where this company goes. We can't do it.
Nah,
we can't. All right, moving on. We'll just make ourselves batty trying to predict this company's booking decisions, man. We can't do it. Moving on.
Speaking of predicting booking decisions, how about who the fuck booked a 30-minute Iron Man match between Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins for the IC championship?
A 5-hour show.
Yeah, but who the fuck wants to see Dolph Ziggler in an Iron Man match? Who in 2018 or 2017 or 2016 wants to see fucking Dolph Ziggler in an Iron Man match?
I don't think the year is the issue, Chris.
It's not. But
the year is not the issue, my friend.
I will give them some credit to back when they made Dolph the fucking conquering hero back at Survivor Series 2014, and he still had some shine on him going into 2015.
You're right.
After that, it's just like, who the fuck gives a shit? I mean, I would pay a damn good amount of money if this was Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins in an Iron Man match. The IC championship. The wrong man is in the fucking match.
Dolph's going to get the heat for like an hour and a half, too, even though it's a 30-minute match, somehow.
Yeah. Somehow.
Dolph is going to get the heat for 90 minutes of this 30-minute match. Defying the laws of space-time.
Yep.
All hail, Dolph Ziggler.
Seriously.
I don't know. I mean, I was like a 7, and then they announced stipulation. And Iron Man matches generally suck ass to begin with.
Yeah.
So now I'm like a 4.
I'm giving this like a 2.5 again, because I just cannot. I have nothing left to do when it comes to Dolph Ziggler. I've got nothing to latch onto with him. They paired him with Drew McIntyre. They paired him with Drew McIntyre when Drew made his call up, and I just immediately was just like, why? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, we're good.
Leave Drew alone. He doesn't deserve this.
Big Daddy Drew, man. He deserves a lot better than this, but
him and his
time's coming.
Fucking calves deserve better than this.
Yeah, homeboy likes his raises.
He does not fucking skip leg day to save his for anything.
No.
Dude is a
beast.
He
does not.
Dude is a fucking beast. Next up, another match that just has me saying, why the fuck are we doing this? Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley.
Now, on the one hand, it's Roman Reigns, who's very good. On the other hand, it's Bobby Lashley, who's been hot garbage since coming over. And on the third hand, all Roman Reigns matches are now basically he gets chin-locked for a while, the crowd doesn't care, and then he says, fuck this. Why am I killing myself? This guy I'm wrestling sucks ass. Which I don't blame him for in one iota.
Yeah. Like,
he's like, wow, why am I bumping for Jinder Mahal? Screw this.
Yeah.
Jinder's garbage. He botched getting into the ring.
But then he fucking does that insanely awesome over the top rope dive that he does.
You know what I love a lot about Roman Reigns these days? His comebacks. He's got good comebacks. When he builds his heat, when he gets his heat back, and he just starts punching people, and he's like throwing guys, and he's doing the drive by, and he's doing the forearms in the corner. Although I think he should get rid of the forearms in the corner, and I think he should just go back to punches, like when he's punching guys in the body. You know, I like his comeback. I like his comebacks. Roman Reigns is a good professional wrestler. Yeah. I have decided. Breaking news, Chris. Breaking news. Roman Reigns, good professional wrestler.
Yeah.
Too bad he's wrestling guys who blow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
where we are, my friend.
It is quite unfortunate.
So, yeah, I don't care about this match.
I don't.
Even though I like watching Roman Reigns wrestle.
Yeah.
I don't care about this
I love watching Roman Reigns wrestle. I couldn't give a shit less about this match because Bobby Lashley has been the biggest fucking disappointment in the world since he came.
Terrible. He was so good in TNA, and he's really not good now.
Yep. Just goes to show when they don't let you do what you're good at, you fucking fail miserably.
Yeah. Yep. So next,
Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship.
Poor Jeff is so beat up.
I'm going to give this one.
He really needs time off.
I'm going to give this one like a 4.5.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's Nakamura wins, whatever. Poor Jeff, like I said, is just so beat up.
Mm-hmm.
He needs so much time off. Like his shoulders, his knees, his whatever, his being old.
Yeah, literally, it is just a matter of the fact that he's fucking old.
He's old, and he's old, and he's wrestled a tough style. You know, so yeah, it's unfortunate, but you know, it happens to all of us, right?
Yes, indeed. Next up, Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin in a singles match. I got jebaited earlier this week.
You got what?
Jebaited.
What fuck's that?
It's a video. It's a gamer's term for when you get when you get fooled into doing something stupid.
Oh. It's news to me, but okay.
Yeah, it usually happens in
sounds kind of dirty.
It's usually something that happens in PvP games where somebody, usually in FPS games, where somebody will get fooled into going into a space where they can just get jumped by the entire enemy team and get knocked out immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a way of saying you got baited, but it sounds cooler to say jebaited. But
it's very leaked.
I got jebaited on Twitter earlier this week because I saw somebody had posted a tweet saying WWE has come to terms on the release of Fergal Devitt, and I was like, wait, what? And I was searching like mad to see if that actually was the case.
It wasn't,
and it wasn't.
Spoiler alert: it wasn't.
Yeah, but oh god, I wish it had been.
I mean,
you can't tell me it wouldn't be awesome to have fucking Finn Balor walk in, or Prince Devitt walk in at the closing night of the G1 to back up the OG Bullet Club with something.
I know you have words for that. By the way, my excitement level for this match is about a -17.
Yeah, this is
still pissed that they had Finn Balor. Still pissed that what's his name lost his hair and didn't even get a good hair versus hair match out of it.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, not that he had good enough hair to merit a hair versus hair match.
No, but still.
Come on, Baron Corbin. Come on.
No.
I mean, I can't see a world. Well, actually, no, I can see many worlds where Baron Corbin wins this match, but I'm hoping that Finn wins.
Baron Corbin is winning this match.
Oh, God.
He's the constable, and Finn is doing nothing.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, Baron Corbin is 100% winning this match.
Ugh.
I mean, I would be shocked if he doesn't.
Somebody kill me.
No. Who am I going to watch play Borderlands all night?
I got the bass strings.
Who am I going to watch play Borderlands all night?
I mean, there's like a whole directory of awesome people to watch play Borderlands. But yeah, that's true. None of them quite have my my soothing dulcet tones.
Yeah, your soothing dulcet tones or your cool collection of wrestling T-shirts.
That also.
I tweeted a wrestling T-shirt for me, and then I could just watch her stream.
Yeah, I could probably get her into a Bailey shirt without a doubt. I could make it happen.
That'll just make me sad because Bailey used to be cool.
Yeah,
and over.
Yeah,
she used to be cool and over.
What a shame.
And now she is neither of those things.
Yeah, seriously. Next, we've got Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. Why?
I'm morbidly curious because Kevin Owens with Plunder is good, and Braun Strowman is good. So give me a 4.
I'm going to call it a 4.5, but only because I'm excited at the prospect of Kevin Owens getting thrown through the cage out into the outside.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, without a doubt. But I mean, this all started because Braun fucked up Kevin's car, and yet Braun is still the good guy.
And Yeah, and they didn't have to go to therapy, but Bailey had to go to therapy. Braun and what's his name? Braun and Roman literally tried to kill each other over and over and over again for like a year, and neither one of their happy asses went to therapy.
Yeah, not to mention that Braun also came to Roman's aid against Kevin Owens and whoever the fuck else it was that he was dealing with at the time, when it was, Roman, Braun, and Bobby Lashley all teaming together to humiliate Kevin, Sammy, and I think it was The Miz. I think.
Sure.
Whoever it was.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. So, yeah, nothing makes sense anymore. And finally, the final match on the card is The New Day versus Sanity in a tables match. Has Sanity done anything since they got called up?
No. They've wrestled once and lost.
Yeah.
The answer to your question, my friend, is no. They have not done anything since being called up.
None of the fucking call-ups since WrestleMania have done anything of significance at all. Ember Moon has done nothing. The Icons have done nothing. The Authors of Pain have done nothing. Sanity has done nothing. What the fuck is wrong with this company?
Ember Moon has done exactly what I predicted she was going to do. Chris, I'm taking a victory lap here. She has shown up. She's wrestled 4-minute matches on Raw. She's gotten pops for the Eclipse. And that's it. And apparently she's killed it on the house show circuit.
AOP is on fucking Main Event.
Yep.
I want to die.
Yeah.
Talking about this company.
You're talking me into that. You're talking me into that those bass strings, Chris.
Yeah, dude. Talking about this company.
Tell you, man. You can't.
It leaves me in a stupor every time, because it's just, how do you mismanage this many people in this many different ways?
With effort. With effort, my friend.
Give effort to fuck your talent over.
With
it
effort.
Has to be.
Lots of effort.
And lots of cocaine, more than likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about a competent company now?
A more competent company.
Exceptionally more competent company.
Are we done with this card?
Oh, yeah, we're done with this
card's going to be like 4.5 hours, man.
It's going to be awful.
I got shit to do. It's a Sunday.
I'm not watching this show. Fuck that. I'm still on my boycott. My boycott, for the record, is still in full force.
I'll watch.
I am not.
Well, I may watch. I haven't decided yet.
But
I mean, if I'm at home doing nothing, I'll have it on in the background while I play video games.
I'm streaming that night. Have me on in the background instead.
Done.
There you go.
Done. You're
the best part of Sanity wrestling a house show match, a tag match with Becky Lynch.
Wait, what?
That's right. Yeah, Nikki Cross is teaming with Becky Lynch on house show matches right now.
Nikki Cross is teaming with. Is she part of Sanity?
No.
Huh.
Figure that one out in your goddamn brain.
Is she been called up?
She's on her way up. We have to imagine. Like,
figure out the blow off with what's her name? My girl Shayna.
Yeah.
Queen Shayna to you, Christopher.
You know what? I don't want to hear it. All right, let's talk about a competent company. Let's go to New Japan.
Go to New Japan.
Let's talk about the G1 special in San Francisco.
Yeah. Let's talk about one of my favorite matches of the year to watch.
All right. We'll go top to bottom.
Sure.
So, opening 10-man tag of nothingness. Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi.
Oh, it was not nothing, because Haku got back in the business, baby.
Oh, yeah. Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, Tamatanga Tangaroa, and King Haku versus the Chaos team of Gedo, Rocky Romero, Sho Yo, and Yoshihashi.
I love Chase Owens' honorary Tongan.
I
love it. I love it.
Okay, I got to send you something. Yeah, talk for a second.
Okay, so this was a nothing match. You're right. It was a crowd opener. It was fine. It got over. Nobody got hurt, which is, not always a sure thing with this company. Get well soon, Hiromu. But I like Chase Owens' honorary Tongan. The crowd was into it, and the crowd's always going to be into it. But, my phone's buzzing.
Yeah.
Huh. Shared a tweet with you. Crazy Chris. Who's that? Who's that fella?
Some dude.
Today. Chase Owens wearing an honorary Tongan t-shirt. Oh, no. Chase. No! Chase, no longer Tongan. No!
and I laugh and laugh and laugh.
Go hang yourself with your bass strings.
No. Now you want me to upgrade to hanging myself? It's not enough that I said I was going to garrote myself.
What are you, David Carradine? How the hell are you going to garrote yourself? I don't even want to know.
Listen,
I don't even want to know.
I'll find a way.
Much like life, Crazy Chris will find a way.
Yes.
You know,
I'm actually Jeff Goldblum, if you didn't know. But anyway.
You're asking me to call somebody.
Yeah. Continue.
Next match.
I'll just say, yeah, King Haku coming in with the
always fun.
Yeah, coming in with the tongue and death grip, always a good time.
That was fun.
Yeah. Next up,
who is a very dangerous man, even though he's like 70.
Yes. Next up, Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano versus Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr.
I could watch Ishii and Minoru Suzuki wrestle from now till the end of time.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
Until Judgment Day. Judgment Day.
Yep. Keep going. I'm cool with that.
Yep. That would be fantastic. And I gotta say, creative way to end the match. Very creative way to end the match. Did you see how they ended this match?
Refresh my memory. It's been a week.
So Minoru
I have a memory of a goldfish.
Minoru and Ishii were on the outside, beating the shit out of each other, and then Yano and Sabre were in the ring. Yano was trying for every single one of his shenanigans, and Zack was blocking every single one of them.
Yeah, because Zack knows better.
Yeah. Ref was out of the way somehow. Yano goes for the low blow. Zack catches
with
Yano's arm with his knees.
Yeah, that's how they finished it. That's how they finished it at Dominion.
Yep. And he turns with Yano's arm still trapped. He turns to go and get him into a submission hold. Ishii comes back into the ring and just lariats him out of his boots to set up Yano hitting the cradle and getting the win. Such a good finish. So creative. I love it.
It's like Dominion, but a little different.
Yeah.
Dominion, that worked. He got the submission because Suzuki had Ishii trapped in the light bar, you know? Yep. And Ishii couldn't do anything to help his buddy out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this time, Ishii got smart. He's adapted. He's learning. Much like the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park. That's our second Jurassic Park reference in about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, they're learning.
Mm-hmm. Clever girl.
I love Tomohiro Ishii. He's a great man. Not only my dad's favorite wrestler, but he is one of my favorites.
Excellent taste.
Yeah. Or as he calls him, the short guy with no neck who beats the crap out of people.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know what? Good description.
It's an accurate description, yes. Next up, we had Hangman Page and Marty Scurll versus Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kushida. It was an all right match. But, you know, we've seen better. We've seen better from these four guys. But Page getting the win tells me he's probably going to have himself a good G1.
I think he is absolutely going to have himself a good G1.
So that'll be awesome.
So, which I am here for. I like Hangman Page. He's growing on me.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with a guy who does some physical stuff.
Yep. Next.
Haruki
Goto versus Jeff Cobb for the Never Openweight Championship.
I expected this to be better than it was, to be honest.
I saw it was still really good, though.
I enjoyed it. I thought the finish was like out of nowhere.
I kind of enjoyed the finish a lot, especially Tour of the Islands getting countered into a sleeper hold. Creative as fuck.
That was super
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
But it just seemed that there was like they cut it short. Like there should have been a few more minutes, and then they were like, "Oh, take it home." Okay.
Yeah.
You know. So I thought
that was unfortunate, but overall, Cobb definitely had a good showcase there.
Yeah, he did. He looked good. We said he needed to deliver, and he did.
Yes.
I thought he had a very good match, and I would love to see a real program between these two.
Yeah, absolutely.
My boy Taichi can stay home for the time being.
Watching two guys who are just hosses beating the shit out of each other. That's always fun.
And it is a fresh matchup in an undercard, which is sorely lacking fresh matchups.
Yes.
So
absolutely. So
yeah, I approve. You have my stamp of approval here, Jeff Cobb. I've always liked you.
Yep.
Next time you work AEW, I should buy a T-shirt of yours.
You really should.
Should. Seems like a cool dude.
He is the dude. Next up, Los Ingobernables de Japón, Evil and Sonata versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson for the.
This match was pretty damn good, my friend. Not that should be a surprise given these four dudes.
It was, but I'm gonna throw the butt in there because we've talked about, watching a year plus of Bucks psychology matches.
Mm-hmm.
This seemed a little bit more just like a standard PWG style Bucks match.
It did seem a little spotty,
which was not a problem. It definitely was a nice break in the formula from what we have been seeing. But after watching them do what they've done, which was so outside the box for them for a year now, and then just going back to same old high spots shenanigans matches, it was just like, I mean, it's good to see that they still have that in them at their exceptionally
their new role.
Exceptionally long traveled 33 years of age.
I was enjoying their new role, though. I'm with you.
Yeah. So could have been better, but overall, still not a bad thing. I thought
all four men worked their asses off, and I enjoyed this match. But yeah, I would have enjoyed more story.
Yeah, a little bit more story. Yes, definitely.
So, yeah, wrong there.
Yep.
Next,
we had, following the intermission, Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay versus Bushi and Tetsuya Naito.
I enjoyed this match as well. Funny how keep saying that.
It was fun.
I mean, it was a post-intermission tag match. You know what I mean? Yeah. It wasn't going to be the main event of the Tokyo Dome. No one expected it.
Had good interactions. Definitely.
I thought Bushi looked good.
Yeah.
He needed a good match, and he had a good match.
Yes, he did.
He delivered.
And that was what we needed. We needed something that was going to get the crowd back into things. And
after the intermission, half of them were still trying to buy T-shirts, blah blah blah.
At the end of the day, this story still remains. Okada post belt loss is still one of the, best stories going right now.
Yeah, I enjoy the Okada redemption tour.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot.
Which isn't even started. This is like the Okada down in the dumps tour.
Mm-hmm. It's exciting. It's exciting times.
It really is.
So where it goes from here is really going to be quite the turning point for Okada, because his G1 is really going to define what the next year is going to look like for him.
Agreed.
If he does not win the G1, it's going to be a very interesting year for Kazuchika Okada.
I don't think he's winning the G1, and I think it will be a very interesting year for Kazuchika Okada.
Yes. Same here. All right, next. Dragon Lee versus Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Oh man! You know what? You know what the worst part about this match is? This
is Okada Shibata all over again.
You know what?
Okada Shibata all over again.
You know what the worst part about that spot is?
What?
If they hadn't done that spot, the match would have been just as good.
Yeah.
You can make an argument that the headbutt in Okada Shibata was the defining moment of that match, where he just rears back and he headbutts him, and they cut to the camera and he's bleeding. And you can make that argument that was the defining moment of that match.
Yeah.
Right? Chris, if Takahashi had not broken his neck or injured his neck on that Phoenix Plex, we would have forgotten about it.
Mm-hmm.
It would have just been one more spot in a match full of spots. That's the worst part, is that the guy potentially crippled himself for a nothing spot.
I mean, it's not a nothing spot, so to speak, because when you get right down to it, how many people in the world can possibly pull off a package Dragon Driver and make it look good? And I am certain as I know my own name, that these two guys have done this spot before.
Oh, I promise.
And have executed it flawlessly before.
I mean, his hand slipped. It happens. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. But it happens. Guys botch shit.
Yeah.
Guys slip. This was his fourth match in 24 hours.
Yeah. This is what this business is about. Sometimes shit happens. Sometimes really bad shit happens.
Better, obviously. But sometimes shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. Get well soon, Hiromu.
Yeah.
We love you. He is a bundle of joy. And he was super charismatic.
He was able to fly back to Japan, which is a good sign.
Very good sign. They don't generally let you fly if you have a risk of bad things happening, like blood clots in the flight.
Yeah.
Although I can't imagine flying 12 hours from San Francisco to Tokyo in his condition was anything other than torture.
Yeah.
But he's home now, so at least there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, our thoughts and prayers are all with you, man.
Yeah.
Because he is a joy to watch. He's so charismatic, he doesn't need to kill himself.
Mm-hmm. He is without a doubt.
He's already over.
He is without a doubt one of the best performers in the world. Without a doubt.
Oh, easy.
And to not have him in a ring, much like to not have Shibata in a ring, is an absolute travesty for the entire business. Absolute travesty. So for all of us here, we send our best wishes to Hiromu Takahashi for a speedy and complete recovery, because he deserves it.
He's the man, dude. He's the man. He's so fun to watch.
Yeah. And now the question becomes, does he forfeit the title? Depending on how long it's going to take him to recover, if he can recover.
I don't know. When? Positive thinking, man.
Yeah,
when he recovers. Like, I don't know where you go from here with the title. Does it go back to Will? I don't know.
I mean, the one upside, I mean, you can't even call it.
The one upside is that they got a lot of guys who are worthy.
Well,
yeah, that's pretty great.
That is another thing, but I will say that the one benefit of this happening when it did is that they have a month-long series of wrestling that can keep focus away from this belt being absent, and
because of the G1.
Yeah, and let things play out for a little bit to see what needs to happen, and then when the G1 is over and it comes time for them to start looking ahead to King of Pro Wrestling, that's when they can then say,
then we can go from there.
We'll take it from there. But best wishes to Hiromu again. Love that man. Great man.
He's a great man. He is. You know what? He's so charismatic that he doesn't need to land on his head to get over. Some guys need to land on their head to get over, and I'm not going to name names. It's not fair. Yeah, sure, you're not wrong. But some guys can just get over by hanging out with a stuffed animal.
Yep.
And the crowd clapping along with their replicas of Daryl to his theme song. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not because he lands on his head, dude. It's because he's charismatic.
Yeah.
And you'll be charismatic no matter what. Mm-hmm. So, it sucks. It just sucks. And I hope it is nothing more than a very bad stinger, Or that if it is a break, it's a clean or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to speculate, but
pray that he is.
The whole thing just is so unfortunate. Makes me sad, So, next we had a match that I loved.
Yep. Switchblade Jay White versus Juice Robinson for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship.
This match was damn good.
Yeah.
How about the crowd buying it? How about the crowd loving Juice and hating Jay White?
Yeah.
How about victory lap number 2 for you and I?
Yeah.
We are riding that Jay White train all the way to the station, my friend.
Yeah. I will say, though, that the bit with JR and Josh Barnett was not necessary.
I thought it was hokey at best.
That was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But
speaking of JR, you got to take the car keys away from him in terms of announcing. But we knew that. I mean, that's nothing new, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like he's gone from being he's a detriment to the product.
Yes.
So take the car keys away from him, Chris. You're in charge. I'm putting you in charge, Chris.
That's a bad plan, but okay, I'll do it.
He's a detriment to the product.
Yes, that is absolutely true.
It was before he was neither enhancing nor diminishing from the product. Now he is diminishing,
actively harming the product. Yeah,
actively harming.
We've talked about moments of people actively harming the product in the past, and there are plenty of them.
He is as on the announce side.
Yes,
Josh Barnett was very good. I thought. but JR calling is not helpful. That being said, the thing with him taking a bump, what is he, like 75? What are we doing here, people?
Yeah. Again,
you know,
that was stupid as hell.
Very dumb. Less of that.
Whole lot less of that. Whole lot less of JR in general.
So,
let him go home to the ranch and let him just, stay on the ranch.
Boomer Sooner, go home. Peace out. Peace and love. Thanks for the memories.
Finally.
I love this match. I thought the finish would have been so much cooler if White had not kicked out of the Pulp Friction the first time.
Yeah.
And he hits it again. I thought that first time when the crowd was just losing their shit, I said, holy shit, Jay White's going to win this match. I thought that was the false finish. And then it was the real finish. And I was like, oh, that's a little, But I don't know, 4.25 sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe 4.5 on a good day.
I would go 4.5.
Yeah.
I loved, apart from the announce table spot, I loved.
How about the stipulation you can't use your fists?
Yeah.
That's straight out of like 1980, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
Apart from the whole apart from the announcer table spot, I loved the storytelling aspects of this match.
So did I. It was
good.
A clear-cut babyface.
Yeah.
Clear-cut babyface. Clear-cut heel. That nice and easy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Professional wrestling is simple. We've said it before.
It's the theme show of this podcast, my friend.
Yep.
Main event.
Cody versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Match itself was good enough.
Could have been
most
better.
Cody matches.
Could have been better for sure.
But like most Cody matches, it was there to advance the story.
I think.
Did it advance the story, my friend?
Yes. I will say this. I think that the interference may have been a little bit unnecessary because there was quite a bit of it.
There was a lot. It felt very WCW. Mm-hmm. And that's not in a good way.
Yeah.
Not in a good way at all.
But despite that, I think that the match did what it needed to do, especially given what happened after the match. Can I talk about that now, please? Please. The
floor is yours. Christopher, the floor is yours.
So, George, remember how I told you last week that you should prepare yourself for a bit of role reversal?
I'm certainly ready. Are you cosplaying as me?
I might be, because George, Bullet Club is fine. Bullet Club is more than fine for that matter, because the chaff has been culled from the wheat, the dirt has been thrown in the trash, and all that remains is the greatness. The firing squad has been unleashed, and I am here for it. Let me set the stage for those of you. Let me set the stage for you, for those of you who did not happen to witness this. So, Kenny Omega wins his match against Cody. Cody staggers out of the ring, is helped by Brandy off to the back. Kenny celebrates in the ring with the Young Bucks. He delivers his parting speech to the adoring crowds in San Francisco and tells them about how everyone must have a dream to follow and how his dream is to deliver the best quality wrestling products for the adoring fans of New Japan, and how glad he is to see a sold-out house, and how grateful he is to have been able to wrestle his first title defense in front of such an amazing crowd. He bids them goodbye and good night. Bang.
So far, so good.
Departs the ring with the Young Bucks. They walk up the ramp. They are met at the top of the ramp by the Gorillas of Destiny and King Haku. And they trade two sweets and words of encouragement and shared brotherhood as Bullet Club compatriots. Mm-hmm. And the Gorillas and the Bucks both motion for Kenny to go back and to signal to the crowd one last time to give the adoring masses what they want, one last view of their triumphant hero. And Kenny
because
poses.
Bullet Club's fine.
And Kenny poses with his arm outstretched. The Bucks pose with their biceps flexed, appreciating the love of the crowd, drinking it in, And from behind, Tama Tonga, like the snake in the grass that he has been his entire career, forearms Kenny Omega in the back of the head and sends him crashing to the floor. The Young Bucks, in their state of confusion, are caught from behind by Tanga Loa and King Haku.
How about Haku throwing fists?
And Tama Tonga drags Kenny down to the ring and throws him into the ring post, sheds his Bullet Club shirt to reveal underneath Bullet Club Firing Squad. And he throws Kenny into the ring. Tanga Loa and King Haku get into the ring as well, and they all start beating Kenny down. The Bucks try to crawl into the ring. Haku and Tanga cut them off and beat them down as well. Hangman Page comes flying down the ramp, intercepts Tama Tonga, and starts crushing him with fists and forearms, only to be met with a devastating lariat by Tanga Loa, followed by the signature running power slam that leaves him screaming in agony at his cracked ribs. Marty Scurll makes his way to the ring with his umbrella in hand, strikes Tanga Loa across the ribs, and is met immediately with a devastating gun stun from Tama Tonga.
Those gun stuns. I don't mean to cut you off. Those gun stuns were so awesome.
And now, the pile of broken bodies.
Notice how that the 3 men beat the shit out of like 8 guys? Loved it. Loved it.
As Tongans lay the beatdown upon the broken and devastated members of the Elite, the Bullet Club imposters. But Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi make their way to the ring to try and calm their friends, their tag partners from earlier in the night, to try and make them see sense that this should not be happening. This is not civil war. The Bullet Club should be united. And they lean over to check on Kenny, who is groaning and clutching his gut in agony. They look down upon him, and Tanga Loa grabs Yujiro Takahashi around his waist and his legs and throttles him back into a back suplex. Sends him crashing to the ring. Chase Owens, in his moment of confusion, is caught by a Tama Tonga into a demolishing Tongan twist. And even more bodies litter the ring now. And it is just open season for the Tongans to destroy those imposters to the Bullet Club that have been polluting their ground for so many years. Tama Tonga exits the ring and grabs a chair, brings it back into the ring. Tanga Loa and King Haku draw Kenny Omega up. But Tama Tonga does not strike. And instead, Tanga Loa motions towards the back. And out walks Cody, staggering his way back to the ring, limping, still fresh off a crushing defeat to the man who had been his rival for leadership of the Bullet Club for so long now. He limps his way down to the ring and crawls in. Tama Tonga offers him the chair. Tanga Loa screams words of encouragement to finish him, to end this. And Cody considers the chair. He smiles down at the broken Kenny Omega and then strikes Tama Tonga right in the chest with the chair. He kicks Tanga Loa away, lifts the chair up to deal a devastating blow to Tama Tonga again, only for King Haku to grab the chair out of his hands and for Cody to walk right into one last annihilating gun stun, leaving him right alongside those who had been his friends and then his enemies, broken before the Tongan domination. They lay the chair in the ring. King Haku stands over it, triumphantly raises his arms, and Kenny Omega is placed between his legs and lifted up in the air for a spike pile driver right onto the chair. Two sweets down low. Guerrilla tactics. It's time for warfare. We came to battle. We aim to kill. That's Bullet Club. The Tongan dynasty is here to stay. Bad Luck Fale and Hikuleo have already declared themselves. to be alongside the Gorillas and King Haku. And what do we see now before us? Oh, look. The G1 is here.
Oh,
look.
fancy that.
Who happens to both be in B block? Who will be facing
who
each
happens
other
to be
in B
B
block?
Chris?
Tama Tonga and Kenny Omega will be having themselves a rematch from last year's match when the Bullet Club Civil War was only just brewing beneath the surface, barely resonating. And now it has blown open into full-out war. And I am telling you right now, I'm calling my shot right now. And you're going to call me fucking insane for this. You are going to tell me that I am absolutely out of my mind to say this. But
I'm listening.
At the age of 35.
No.
10 years into his New Japan career.
No. I know where this is going. No.
Alipate Aloisio Leone.
No.
Tama Tonga is winning the G1 Classic.
You're fucking crazy. I love you, but you're fucking crazy, man.
You cannot tell me
there's no way
Bullet Club Civil War main eventing the Tokyo Dome would not be the most amazing thing.
Oh, it would be great. I'd love it. He's not winning the G1, man.
Why not?
The entire thing or his block?
I'm predicting.
What block is he in? He's
in B block.
He's in the good block.
He's in the stacked block
with Omega.
With Omega and Ibushi and his brother.
I don't think he's winning the G1. I do think he is having a very good G1, and I think it is a near certainty that he beats Omega. A near certainty.
I think he's winning.
I'm not bold enough to say he's winning the G1 like you are. You know, I'm not.
I am.
I love it. I love the boldness. I'm not there yet, but I think it is a near certainty that he beats Omega after what we just saw.
Well, let me put it to you this way.
And it is big boy time for him.
Let me put it to you this way. You remember how we talked last week? Or I don't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. We talked about how Bullet Club, the brand, is more important than Bullet Club, the people, at this point to New Japan. Bullet Club, the brand, being torn asunder and being fought over by its two factions, the Elite versus the Tongans. You can't tell me that that is not going to be riveting for the entire world to see. Because we haven't seen anything like this before. We've seen shades of it. We've seen inklings of it. But never before have we seen a faction that has, since its inception, been a driving, domineering force in the entire business. Never before have we seen a faction with that much power and that much power brokerage suddenly be thrown into utter chaos and uncertainty. Never before have we seen this. The last time that we saw anything that could even be close to this was the night that Seth Rollins hit Roman Reigns in the back with a chair.
That scoundrel.
Now, we have a company that is infinitely better at telling a story.
Shit. They own the long-term shit.
Story. And with a cast of characters who can perform infinitely more than those three men could in the year following the destruction of the Shield. Infinitely more. You can't tell me that that is not going to be a compelling story.
It's a story that I'm here for.
Yeah.
You know?
At the very least, if it doesn't go that far, if it doesn't go quite that far, I would say it's a near certainty that we see the Guerrillas of Destiny versus the Young Bucks in an extended series of matches for the tag team championships. I don't like that would be the direction that they go in, because I would much rather see a battle for supremacy between one of the last OGs of Bullet Club versus the man that has been synonymous with Bullet Club for the past 2 years. I would much rather see Tama Tonga versus Kenny Omega in an extended series of matches. That would be a dream come true for me, because Kenny Omega, obviously the best bout machine. Tama Tonga, criminally underrated in the ring.
Yeah, the guy's awesome. That's a given.
I would pay great money to see that play out for quite a while. So we'll see what happens. The G1 holds a lot of promise and a lot of prospect for what could be, but it's quite intriguing to see now. They said for so long that Bullet Club was fine. It was not, but it is now, because now all that remains of Bullet Club is the quality. The chaff has been cut from the wheat, my friend. The elites are no more.
I'm here for that.
Yep.
And I am. Did you watch Being the Elite?
I haven't, but I need to watch that, and I need to watch the video on the Gorillas YouTube page, because they have their own YouTube page as well, and they have a video of the lead up to this series of events, and I need to catch that as well.
On Being the Elite, do you want me to talk about it, or do you just want to watch it?
No, go for it. Go for it.
There are Bucks and Kenny are eating like takeout, like burgers and fries and shit in their hotel room right after the match, and they're all beat to shit. And Cody walks in and he's all beat to shit, and Kenny Omega just gives him like a chicken tender. Bullet Club is fine. It just says 100% less Tongans.
No, Bullet Club is fine. It's 100% less elite.
Sure. Bullet Club is fine, Chris. That's what matters.
Bullet Club is the firing squad. And the elite have been fired.
I will say this, that I am more interested now than I was going in, and that's the goal. Right?
Yep. 100%.
So,
and I said I that firing squad shirt, I'm buying that shit tomorrow.
It looks good. It looks real good.
Amazing shirt. Buying it tomorrow.
As well you should. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Take us home?
Yeah, let's do that thing we do.
Let's do.
Where we talk to all of you about all the awesome other people that we love to share with all of you here in the professional wrestling talking sphere.
Yeah. In the community.
Yes, the community,
as the kids like to say.
It would be. Yep. So on Wednesday nights, you can find our friends at Wednesday Night Shooting, Tanya Rogers and Andrew Swift, with all of the great and intelligent professional wrestling takes. They're wildly entertaining, and they're well worth the time to listen to. Go on over and check them out.
They make bad WWE interesting. That's how good they are.
It's more fun to listen to Wednesday Night Shooting than it is to actually watch Raw and SmackDown. That's
by like a factor of about 50.
Yeah, that is a flat guarantee. So definitely go check them out. Follow them on Twitter at Militia Malice Joe and at Andrew M. Swift, and find them on YouTube, and make sure to listen every Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Shooting. Excuse me. Follow our good buddy Don Sal at Kusmano_Sal, and follow Cedar Bridge Media at Cedar_Bridge for Don Sal's show Match Fixing, where he has all of his intelligent takes, all the things going on in the professional wrestling sphere. He is an awesome dude. He is one of our favorite people to chat graps with, and he's well worth your time as well. Episodes are a little bit infrequent in terms of when they are published, but they are definitely worth the time. So be sure to follow Sal, follow Cedar Bridge, and get the scoop on Match Fixing at every turn that it takes place. Saturday mornings, you can follow our brothers in Los Ingobernables podcast over at Shoot Debris, Takers Meeting, and Mr. Dr. Senju, waking you up on Saturday mornings with all the great professional wrestling discussion with guests and all sorts of other interesting shenanigans afoot. They are always a great time. Get your breakfast, get your graps, start your weekend off right with Shooting Debris. You can follow them on Twitter at Shooting Debris1, that's Shooting BREEZ1, and on their personal Twitters as well at Takers_Minion and at MRDR Senju. And you can also follow Takers Minion on his Sunday night show, Connoisseurs of Wrestling, alongside Biff Kennington and occasionally Legends Lover as well, bringing you all the great historical wrestling discussion and how it relates to the current day of professional wrestling today. They are on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, except on the nights of WWE pay-per-views. So there will not be an episode.
It will not be on this Sunday.
But they will be back next week, and you should definitely go and check them out. Follow Takers Minion at his personal Twitter at Takers_Minion to get the word on what is going on with Connoisseurs of Wrestling. You can follow us on Twitter as well at 2guys1sport, number 1 in the handle, and follow us on our personal Twitters as well at GitSavas and at CrazyChris576 to get all the scoop on what we're talking about in terms of professional wrestling and all other topics of discussion, because we are multifaceted and we like to discuss all sorts of different things. You can find us also on iTunes at the link in the description below the video. You can subscribe there, give us a rating, give us a recommendation, and as always, let all of your friends of the wrestling realm know to come and check us out on Thursday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and hear all of our discussion of wrestling, because we love having you guys in the chat. Always great to hear from you. And if you're looking to check us out in the capacity of some non-graps form, you can find me over at twitch.tv/crazychris576 for 5 nights a week of video game play, normally in the game Borderlands 2, although I do dabble in other games here and there as my interests permit. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at twitch.tv/crazychris576.
Well worth the watch, people. Can confirm.
Love to have you over there. And episode 67, next week, we are going to have your full recap of Extreme Rules. We will have your full recap of the first week of G1 Climax competition. And we'll have whatever other interesting news and events occur during the course of the week, and whatever you guys want to talk about as well as our matches of the week and all of the other standard banter that takes place here on this fine broadcast of ours. We hope to see you back there at that point in time. Until then, George,
as always, a sincere thank you for jump-starting your weekend with us. Be good to each other. That's all we ever ask, right, Chris? We don't ask for much. Be good to each other. That's Chris. I'm George. You're listening to 2 Guys, 1 Sport. Don't work yourselves into a shoot. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for listening.
Episode 66 is in the books.